Hi, my name is Avalon Harris, and I'm the music therapist at the Carpenter Hospice. We're bringing to you a 4-week series on music and mindfulness. It's called the Musical Self Care Toolkit, and it's about how you can incorporate different music interventions into your life at home as part of your self care regimen. So, I'm excited today to be sharing with you about music and mindfulness and the different ways that mindfulness benefits us, why it's important, and how we can meld music and mindfulness to make it doubly effective. So I'm going to share with you a PowerPoint. We'll do a little bit of education, and then we'll do some experientials. So some meditating, music listening, and singing. So thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoy. So first of all, we'll talk about what is mindfulness. It's kind of a buzzword right now, and for good reason. Lots of research has been started on the benefits of mindfulness. What it really is maintaining a moment to moment awareness of our thoughts, feelings, sensations, and the environment around us through a gentle and nurturing lens. So it's important that we're not just hyper aware, but we're looking at these things through this gentle lens. It also involves acceptance. So, not looking at things as good or bad, but just this is what is. So, why should we practice mindfulness? Studies have shown that practicing mindfulness, even for a few weeks, can bring us all kinds of different benefits. For example, it helps reduce stress, it increases the density of gray matter in our brain, it decreases activation of the amygdala, which is where our body processes stress. It can help with chronic pain, it helps improve relationships, it helps combat bias and prejudice. So it can be helpful for anti-racist training. It helps make us more resilient and it helps us focus. Those are just a few I chose out of the hundreds of different studies that have been done. So how do we actually practice mindfulness? And it really is a practice. It's something that you don't just do once and then forget about. It's kind of a day-to-day thing. So it's about presence and attention. And we can cultivate those through formal practices, like actually sitting and meditating, and informal practices, which might just be more like really being aware when you're going for a walk of what colors you're seeing and what sounds you're hearing. So, a lot of the mindfulness practices talk about breath. There are mantras and affirmations. Really taking time to notice what's around you. Journaling is a really great way to practice mindfulness. Walking meditations. Yoga is an active form if you're not really into sitting and meditating. And even active music listening can be a form of meditation. So, what about music and mindfulness together? Music is a really great stimulus because it gives us something to focus on while we're doing meditation and breath work rather than just being told to focus on nothing or not think at all. Our brain really likes the rhythm and the structure of music and it likes the predictability that helps us feel comfortable. Mindful listening allows us to really absorb all the other benefits of music. So it can improve mood, help us access memories, releases dopamine, helps with pain management. So if we're mindful while we listen, all of that is amplified. And how do we actually practice mindful listening? So first of all, mindfully choose some music depending on what your intention is. Maybe it's relaxing, or maybe it's looking for something to energize you. You can use the breath as an anchor. So that means something for you to focus on. You can listen to specific instruments, see if you can identify them, listen to the different pitches and timbre. Notice the way that the dynamics change and the beat. Notice the mood of the music and notice your own mood before you listen and see if it shifts while you listen or after. Okay, let's practice. So I've got two different versions of one song that I'd like us to listen to today. And I think it's a song that will be familiar for most of us. So we'll just really mindfully listen and notice what things you pick up on that you like or don't like. All the things I just said about timbre, rhythm, dynamics, really listen and see what kind of things you can take away. So we'll first listen to this version by Passenger. The song is Landslide.
Well, I took my love, I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills, till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child in my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Cause I've been afraid of changing, because I built my world around you. Yeah, but time makes you bolder, and children get older. I'm getting older too. Oh, took my love, yeah, took it down. Yeah, 'cause I've been afraid of changing, because I built my world around you. Yeah, and time makes you bolder, and children get older. I'm getting older too. Took my love, took it down.
So now I'll invite you to pause the video and see if you can find a version of the original song, Landslide, by Fleetwood Mac, or any other version, and listen to that maybe on YouTube, and pick out what kind of things resonated with you, what thoughts came up as you listened, how did you feel after you listened, and just kind of get curious with yourself, and wonder about why did you respond the way that you did. So something I'd like to introduce you to is a listening journal. And studies show that journaling can help with labeling and expressing emotions, improve our self-trust. It helps track patterns and growth. It helps with gratitude. And it also helps with stress and anxiety in general. So what a music listening journal is that mindful listening taken a step further into journaling. So some ideas for a music listening journal are identifying a few pieces of music that have impacted your life. Maybe something from when you were a child or a teenager that still really connects with you every time you hear it. You could identify a few pieces that you find really validating or uplifting when you're going through a hard time. It doesn't always have to be a happy song to make you feel better. Sometimes just meeting yourself where you're at, if you're having a hard time, finding a song that expresses that can be really validating. Practice finding songs that really reflect how you're feeling in your current emotional state, whatever that is. And practicing identifying your emotional state as well is really important. Consider songs that could be used to shift the mood on a playlist as well. So you could start, if you're in a grumpy mood, starting with something in that vein and slowly transitioning into something a little bit more uplifting. And you could also reflect on different active music experiences that you enjoy. Maybe playing the piano. If you do that, you could write about how that makes you feel, or singing along to the radio in the car, singing in a group. So just really getting mindful about it. Another thing that we use a lot in the wellness program are chants and mantras. So a mantra is a word or a phrase that can be sung or spoken repeatedly. It's a form of meditation. And they can help you calm the mind because they're very repetitive and they help connect the body and the mind. So the most basic, famous one is the mantra Om. And it goes Om. So try that. You can pause the video if you like. So just taking a nice deep breath, and on your exhale, exhaling Om. And Om is meant to be the sound of the universe. It resonates at 432 hertz, which is the most musical sound of the universe, they say. And I have another couple of examples of mantras here. I'll just sing with you. The first one, deep peace, deep peace, deep peace to you. Deep peace, deep peace, deep peace to you. And I wrote a couple of other examples. They can really be anything you like. It's a message to yourself. Research shows that affirmations can really have a positive effect on your self-concept. So I'll invite you to pause the video again and see if you can come up with one or two chants on your own. And you can start by just writing an affirmation and then putting it to music, or you can, maybe a tune will come to you and you can see if any words fit in with it. There's no wrong way to do it. It's just for you, just a personal mantra or affirmation for you. So, to recap, studies show that mindfulness can have a measurable effect on social, emotional, physical, and cognitive health. Music really enhances all the benefits of mindfulness because it makes it more accessible to us. Music is something that a lot of people enjoy and relate to. So pairing mindfulness and music can really be a great way to introduce both practices. So some ideas that you could try at home, you could try breathing or walking while meditating. So some people like to count their steps. Some people like to walk in time with their breath. There's actually a ton of free meditations you can find, even walking meditations on different places like Spotify or YouTube or anywhere online. So you could take a look for those. Try writing your own mantras or affirmations. And some people like to repeat those to themselves every day in the mirror or write them down before bed. You could start a listening journal, like we talked about, finding what kind of songs or music resonate and really exploring that in different ways. Yoga is a really lovely way to move with the breath. connecting the body and breath. And active music listening or music making are great forms of mindfulness. And of course, dancing and moving to music can be extremely therapeutic as well. So I hope that this little segment has given you something to think about in the next few weeks. As we are not able to get together in person, hopefully you can incorporate some music and mindfulness into your self-care at home. And keep your eye out for a couple of other segments from our musical self-care toolkit. Have a lovely day.